All right, welcome to the 2020 wrap-up show as well as the 2021 preview. It's the race report. All right, well, welcome to the race report. So we are going to do a little stripped down version again this time. We don't have tons to talk about. I got three things I want to go over. So we want to talk about Car of the Year races, and then we want to talk about the standings, our season standings for this year, and then to give you a little preview of next season, 2021. And that's basically it. So got those three things we want to cover today. So let's just get to it, right? Let's talk about some cars. So we had our Car of the Year races in November. And oh man, pretty cool. Some really good racing. It was so fun to see all the winners all together. So the racing was so competitive. Everything was so close. But awesome. Let's where are we gonna start? Let's start with stock. So our stock class has been fun all year. It's been really fun to keep those winners throughout the year, and then get them all together here on the track. And so I've got the finalists. We have 4 cars, of course, make the finals like always, and 3 of them were actually Gold Hot Ones. So we know that those tend to be pretty fast cars. Can be kind of inconsistent sometimes. You never know. But anyways, we had G-Force make it in with his Fairmont into the finals, and 9.81 Racing made it in with his Matchbox Laser Wheels Camaro, as well as 9.81 also made it in with a Fairmont. And then we had Rivera Racing make it in with his Murata. So Gold Hot Ones cars kind of dominating the stock class, of course. And turned out G-Force's Fairmont, it was the one, right? That's your stock car of the year right there. We know these have been fast. Last couple of years, the Fairmonts just kind of ruled the track. Fast cars. Again, some of those Gold Hot Ones can be a little inconsistent, so you never know what you're going to get with them. But anyways, the Fairmont pulled it out this year, so congratulations there to G-Force Racing in the stock class. Hot off the shelf. So this was a fun class this year. You know, as we've done hot off the shelf in the past, seems like one casting's always risen to the top, and you know we see a lot of it. But this year we kind of had 3. Which was cool. Again, it would have been fun to see a lot of other castings, and we did see a few other ones break into the top 10, so that was kind of cool. But the 3 castings were actually represented in the finals, which was pretty cool. However, there wasn't a lot of teams represented in the finals. JAC Racing got 4 cars into the finals. Really dominated the hot off the shelf this year. He's a good hunter, that's for sure. Out there finding speed on the shelves, really cool. So, anyways, like I say, these all JAC, but we did have the Jag in there. So that was one of our big 3 castings. Couple of Lancers in the finals, and the 3rd casting that part of that big 3 got our Zoom in. So those 3 different castings made it the finals. Of course, JAC won. What? When you got all 4 cars in the finals, of course you're gonna win. But turned out the Jag was the car of the year right there. That Jaguar. Fast cars, like I say, these 3 castings have turned out to be 2020's, I think top speed castings for sure. So there you go. Congratulations, JAC. There's your hot off the shelf car of the year. All right, let's get over to our modified classes. We've got modified street and open modified that we raced and kept cars here throughout the year. And so it turns out our modified street class was definitely the most popular class this year. People loved to race in that class. This is our class of cars that look like cars, right? So, anyways, it was a lot of fun, and the finals were really close. In fact, after I got done racing the finals, a lot of times I kind of know, I can tell, looking at the times and the speeds, but I didn't know who was going to come out on top till I actually looked at the standings, and bam, there it was. We had a couple of cars in the finals from Voxer Racing. No stranger to speed there. We got a couple of Cadillacs in there. And then we had JAC make it in with a couple of Fairmonts, and with the original Gold Hot Ones wheels on there. So they all ran, like I say, all these cars really ran well. JAC's Fairmonts actually kind of traded some wins. That was a little deceiving. I thought, oh man, he's running really well. But again, sometimes those Gold Hot Ones could be just a little inconsistent. So one of them had a great race, the other one didn't, and they kind of swapped some wins back and forth. But Voxer's pink Cadillac just ran strong the whole way through, and got the win. Man, there's your modified street car of the year. Congratulations to Voxer Racing with his pink caddy. Oh yeah, a nice car. Lots of speed in those cars. And then finally, we had our open modified race, and this was really we had 4 cars obviously make it into the finals, and we had 2 bearing cars in, and then 2 non-bearing cars in. So I kind of felt like we were running, 2 finals, right? Because we know the bearing cars are going to be pretty fast, and we've kind of talked about those before. So both Voxer and JAC each were representing a bearing car in the race. Got Voxer over here, JAC, and so these cars ran obviously very fast. And then Voxer made it in with 2 other cars into the finals, and traditional sleek, good-looking Voxer cars there. And so, like I say, it was really kind of 2 races. I felt like Voxer did come out on top with his bearing car. JAC's bearing car was in second, and pretty close racing, but Voxer did it. There's your open modified car of the year. Congratulations to Voxer Racing there. Did want to talk about, though, these other 2 cars without bearings. They were not that far off. I'm telling you what, these guys were flying. So, anyways, that was really fun. It was fun to see these guys compete. And like I say, they were not super far off from those bearing cars. So, great job, Voxer, on these more traditional cars as well, without the bearings. Good stuff. Okay, wow. So, car of the year, done. You know what we need to do? We need to talk about the season standings. We got to see who came out on top in each of these classes. So, well, let's go ahead and hit the leaderboards and see who came out on top. well, congratulations to all the winners. We'll be sending out first place trophies to each of the first place winners in each class. And then we've got second and third place trophies in each class as well. So we'll be getting those mailed out. Also the cars. So of course all those car of the year cars I had to keep here and to race. And so I think most of the October cars are all back, should be home now. Like I said, I didn't have to keep the car of the year cars. So some of you guys, I just kept your October cars so that we can mail them all out with the if any of you happen to get trophies as well. But we should be getting all the stuff mailed out here in the next day or two, and it should all be home for Christmas, right? So anyways, great job to everybody. Great year. It's been super fun, and some of you taking home some hardware. So all right, pretty good, cool deal. Let's talk about 2021. Okay, so 2021. Let's talk about it. Coming up next year. Pretty excited for, I think we're going to have a great season. There are going to be some changes, so I'm going to go ahead and try to highlight a few of those. Got some notes here, make sure I hit everything. But if you want to get the complete lowdown, you're going to head to www.racehotwheels.com. I'll put a link down here in the description so you can get right to the page where we talk about the updates, and I go over those in detail. But I'll try to hit the highlights, and then like I say, you can read about all the details coming up. So first big change is going to be the schedule. So I am going to make some adjustments there. This is going to be the first year in a lot of years that we're not doing monthly races. We're going to actually race every other month. So kind of cutting back on the number of races. There's a couple of reasons for that. Probably the biggest is just the time commitment. Had some changes, life changes, I guess, all good, but it just really cut into my time. So I'm gonna have to cut back a little bit on hosting races. But the idea here is some of the other reasons are it was getting really hard with those monthly races. The turnaround time. 2020 was crazy, but the mail was pretty hard, so I was getting a lot of cars late, and then I was still trying to get stuff done. It was becoming very, very difficult to get everything done in that week, and then get the videos posted on time, and I really wanted to be consistent for you. I didn't want things dragging on, and people wondering when are the races going to be posted, when are the races going to be posted, so tried to stay really consistent, but it was becoming really, really difficult to get those cars here and get everything done in that week, get video done and get it all posted, and then taking a week to get the race report done, and still needed the cars for that, and then getting them sent back and packed all up and getting them sent back, and then really some of you guys were getting your cars with like a week or so turnaround time, and then they were back in the mail, right? So you barely had time to put some more graphite on them if you were sending in some of the same stuff. So I don't know, that turnaround time was getting really quick, and again, with the mail being a little bit slower, it was just hard. And so I think, like say, if we're racing every other month, that's going to give us just a little extra time. It'll give me a little more time to hopefully do a little better quality job as far as the video goes, and then maybe I'll get a little more sleep during that race week, and then getting those cars back, you'll have plenty of time. You'll get them back. You can do some more testing. You can maybe send in the same stuff, or you can do some different stuff, whatever. But it'll give you time to work through that. So anyways, that's going to be, like I say, the biggest thing is we're going to be racing every other month. And hopefully, the other thing that I think is going to be kind of fun is hopefully I'm going to be able to promote those races just a little bit better, get people excited about those a little bit better, rather than looking more like, just this monthly races. Hopefully they'll look a little more like an event, right, that you'll be excited to participate in. So Anyways, so we're going to be racing in January, March, May, July, September, and November. And then we'll have one extra race in December. I'll get to that in a little bit. But that's kind of what the schedule will look like. Again, if you go to the details on the website, you can read about kind of the themes and what's going on with all of those and what those races are going to look like. So I won't get too much into that. But schedule-wise then. So we're racing every other month. We'll start in January and then hit every other month. As far as when cars are due and how that's all going to look, it's going to also be a little bit different. In the past, we've always had cars due on the third Saturday. Race day was the fourth Saturday. That's when I'd always post the videos. And then I'd try to do the race report the Saturday after that. And then, like I say, sometimes that was pushing into the next month. And if that third Saturday was coming up soon, then it was crazy sometimes. So here's the change that's going to happen. I'm gonna have cars due on the first Saturday of the month. I'm gonna take 2 weeks to race those. That's gonna give me, like I say, a little bit more time. And then race day, the day I post the videos, will be the third Saturday. So cars will be due on the first Saturday of the month. I'll post races on the third Saturday of the month. I'll still try to take that next week to do the race report, and that'll be up on the fourth Saturday of the month. And then I'll work on getting cars packed up that next week and getting them sent off. So you should be getting cars back by the first of the first of the off month, maybe that first week there, and that will still give you a good month, I would guess, to get cars ready for the next big race. So anyways, that's kind of the schedule that I'll try to follow. And like I say, hopefully it'll increase the quality a little bit. I know that's not as much racing though, so I know, but that's where we're gonna have to go on that. Let's see if I got all the details there. I think I got everything. Like I say, as far as the actual what actual races we'll be doing, I'll have you check the website there for those. So next thing, classes. I am also cutting back just a little bit on the classes. So I'm still going to go with the 2 modified classes. So we'll have open modified and modified street, 2 super popular classes, and the rules will be pretty much the same there. I'll talk about the open modified just a little bit in a few minutes, but for the most part, open modified and modified street, pretty much the same. The stock class is going to change just a little bit. So we've always run the open stock class. It hasn't been quite as popular, but we have been getting some good cars. But it seems like in our open stock class, the variety is kind of narrowed a little bit, and it helped when we were keeping the stock cars here. Well, actually, all the winners that we were keeping here for our Car of the Year races. That kind of helped us with some variety in the stock class, but we're going to mix it up this year and see how it goes. I think it'll be fun. So rather than just called open stock, it's going to be feature stock, and it'll be stock cars, but each race is going to feature a certain type of car. So it might be funny cars or Ferraris or whatever. So that'll be the idea. And then we are also going to have our what previously been called our feature race. Going to change that a little bit since we're going with feature stock. We're going to call it the Builders Challenge, and that'll be kind of a themed type race. Quite often it'll be on some different tracks. We've got our Baja track and Dukes of Hazzard track and the Thunder Road open lane track. So we've got a few different tracks that we'll be racing on, similar to our feature race in past years. Keeping some of the favorites there, and then we might throw in a new one here or there. But anyways, so our builder's choice. or Builders Challenge. And then Hot Off the Shelf, I really liked that class. It was a lot of fun, but again, just time-wise, I'm gonna have to cut back a little bit. So no Hot Off the Shelf this year. That fifth class we kind of played around with a little bit. We had a lightweight class, stock class the year before. We had our Hot Off the Shelf class this year. What's cool then is for our feature stock, well, we can bring kind of all of those back, but it'll just be for 1 month. So we may have one of our feature stock races will be the Hot Off the Shelf cars, and one of them will be our lightweight cars that we had, from the previous year. So that's how I'm gonna try to incorporate some of those other stock classes that we've run. We'll just run it in our feature stock, and it won't be every month, but we'll be able to see some of those same cars running. So that'll be kind of fun, hopefully. So those are the 4 classes. We've got Modified Street, Open Modified, our feature stock, and our Builders Challenge. So 4 classes we're going to race next year. Alright, check my notes here. Think we're good there. And I guess kind of finally the last big change that we're making is with the awards, I guess. So in the past we've always had kind of a season-long points series where each month you collect points, and I keep track of those points, and then of course we have the season standings, and we award some trophies to the season champs at the end of the year. I'm going to change that a little bit. Again, when we're racing less, it's not a monthly thing anymore. Kind of looking at each thing as like, its own event a little bit. So what I'm going to do then, I still want to crown like a champion at the end of the year. So that's kind of that. I kind of mentioned that special race in December. So I am going to have a pro championship race in December, and the season, the 2021 season, you will need to race and achieve certain things to be able to qualify for that pro race at the end of the year. And so what I'll do is I'll keep track of certain achievements that you make throughout the year. And if you get a certain number of achievements by the end of the year, then you'll be awarded D64 Pro status and be able to race in that Pro Championship. And so that particular race at the end of the year, it will be a modified race, and you will you'll get the specifications for the race. Probably we'll be racing in December, so probably like October-ish. We'll start to know who's going to be in that race, and you can start getting cards ready, and I'll go ahead and give you like the requirements for that race. And so and then that'll be the championship race, right? It's kind of like back in high school, right? You had to qualify for state, and if you qualified for state and won, you won it all, right? So the season will help you qualify for the championship race, and then it'll all come down to that, right? It'll all come down to the championship race at the end of the year. Everybody will be building kind of the same thing on equal ground, and we'll see what comes out. It's going to be awesome. So, like I say, on the website, I'll have all the achievements that you have the possibility of earning, and then kind of how many of those you'd have to earn in order to be a D64 Pro and qualify for the Pro Championship at the end of the year. So we're also in Open Modified and Modified Street. I will be continuing. I'll still keep the winners here at D64 like we did this year, and I'll race them in a Car of the Year race. I'm going to make a little bit bigger deal about that next year, so I'm actually going to hand out trophies for the Car of the Year races. And like I say, because of the stock class kind of changing up each time, and because of same thing with the Builders Challenge, it kind of changes up. We won't have a Car of the Year race for those ones, but for Modified Street and Open Modified, we will be having a Car of the Year race. we'll be handing out trophies for that car of the year next year. So gonna do that as well. Let's see. Also, yes. I did decide that for the Builders Challenge throughout the year, I am going to hand out a first place trophy to the winning car of the Builders Challenge. Again, kind of making that, since we aren't going to have the car of the year at the end for that, kind of we'll make each event hopefully something cool and special and something to shoot for a win in. Okay, last thing I think, and then I think I've kind of covered everything. So open modified. I said I'd talk just a little bit about rules there. So towards the end of the year, this year, we did have some cars come in with bearings, and I know I kind of talked to you a little bit about that. I really like the open modified class because the idea there is just to be able to be innovative and continue to look for speed wherever you can find it, and I really like to see that innovation. And we've seen lots of really cool things, but the bearing cars definitely seem to be kind of that next level, a little bit faster, and it's pretty hard for cars without bearings to compete there. But I love having a place like where else there isn't other places where you can race those, and I wanted Open Modified to be a place where you could just try stuff and just practice and get faster and build. So here's what I'm gonna do. This for 2021, I will allow bearing cars if you want to race, but it's not going to get you anything, so to speak, because bearing cars will not qualify for the Car of the Year race. So again, each month, I'm going to keep that that winning car, and it will be competing. Those winning cars will be competing in the Car of the Year race, be competing for trophies for that, but they will be non-bearing cars. So if you want a place to race your bearing car, send it in. I'll race it, right? But it won't count towards the Car of the Year race. So I will take the fastest non-bearing car for the Car of the Year for that particular race, that particular month that we're racing. And but again, I want a place for you to be able to race. If you want to play around with bearings and you want to try to see if you can make it work and get them faster and have a place where you can race and see if they really are fast, then send them in and we're gonna race them. I guess you can race them for pride and glory, but it won't net you anything as far as trophies towards the end of the year or anything like that. And I think all of us know, like even these last couple of months as the cars were going around or down the track, when I looked at the bearing cars and the non-bearing cars, in my head I kind of thought of those as two different races, right? Yeah, that bearing car is cool, it's super fast, but what's the next car that doesn't have bearings? Where's he finishing? And I think we all realized that those were two different, kind of almost like two different classes, and really in the community, I think we kind of saw the difference there. And so I guess that'll kind of continue. You're welcome to send those in, but like I say, they won't qualify for Car of the Year or any trophies or anything like that. So it'll be up to you as far as how you want to do that. Like I say, this is a place to race, and I want you to be able to do that. And so if you want to play around with that a little bit, play around with it a little bit, but like I say, it won't count for anything. Actually, if you do send in a bearing car and it helps you with one of the achievements, I'll go ahead and take that as far as getting you to that pro level, right? Because I think that's kind of a next step. If you are able to get those bearings to work, I mean, you're still going to have to get your axles aligned straight, and you're still going to have to do all of those things that the pros do to make it fast, right? Just bearings aren't going to make it fast, but if you got bearings and you're doing all the other right things, then cool, right? So if that helps you get some of the achievements to be able to make it to the pro level, that'll be fine. But again, not going to qualify for a Car of the Year and on that trophy. So, anyways, that's how the awards are working. I think, like I said, I've been kind of checking my notes here. I think I've covered everything. All the details again will be on the website. But just in summary again, then trophies for Car of the Year, we'll be keeping those similar to last time. Trophies each month that we do the Builders Challenge. First place in the Builders Challenge will get trophies. And then trophies for the Pro Championship race that you will qualify as you reach certain achievements throughout the racing season. Become a D64 Pro, race in the Pro Championships, be the D64 champ. That's the way it's going to work. I'm excited. This is going to be cool. I know there's a little bit less racing, but hopefully you're going to be making as many cars. And you know what? Something we've always had here at D64, I've always kind of said 2 cars as far as how many you'd enter. And I think I'm just going to stick with that. But it's always been the case that if you want to race 2 teams or 3 teams or 4 teams or whatever, you can send in as many cars. But you'll just race them under different teams. And we'll go ahead and still do that same thing as we're still doing the Car of the Year and some of those things. So we'll have you just, if you want to send in more cars, if you're building cars and you're like, I'm racing half as much at D64, but I still want to build cars, then build as many cars as you want. You can send them in, like say, as a different team. Just throw a different team name on them, and we'll take as many cars as you want to race, right? So hopefully 2021 is going to be awesome. I'm pretty excited about it. I think some of the changes are going to be really cool. Like I said, I know we're racing a little less, and but I'm hoping the quality of the races is going to be awesome. I'm hoping to get tons and tons of people, just because we're going to try to make these like really cool events rather than just, oh yeah, they're racing next month at DC. Oh yeah, I'll send him next month, and right. So I don't know. I'm super excited. Thanks you guys so much for racing in 2020. Like I say, it was kind of a crazy year. We did have to make a few adjustments here at the end of the year, and but man, had some people that just stuck it out and stuck with me, and so I really appreciate all the support that you've given me here. And I'm gonna go ahead and keep racing your cars. So here we go, 2021 coming up. What, you got about a month, right? Got about a month till you got to get those cars in for January. First Saturday of the month coming up. Check out the website, January's races. All the information on January's races will also be up there. I'll put that link in the description below as well. So a link to all the details of the changes, as well as a link to specifically January's races. And I will see you on the track in 2021. Yeah, baby. See you there.